Halito Amkana, Chimichukma. Welcome to Dreamwalk. It is I, Mischief. How are you doing this morning? I'm doing freaking fantastical. It's a gorgeous day out there, my friends. We got some good music. We have an awesome local guest coming in. And I can't think of anything else to say except for woohoo! I have my friend in studio, but he's probably too shy. I want to say, Yukpa, Ayatakak, Nitak, happy birthday, Woody, or Elwood. I got to say something. I'm not going to embarrass you and put you on mic, but his real name is Elwood, but his nickname is Woody, and I kind of feel like he's hogging the double cool name because Elwood is cool by itself because of the Blues Brothers, and then Woody's just like, my name's Woody. It's like a cool name. It could go either way, so happy birthday, dude. Thanks for loitering around with me. I'm going to take a moment, let you guys wrap up this song, and go grab my paperwork. We'll be right back. I'm so lightning fast. So we'd like to say Yakoge. Thank you to the Afternoon Deli, offering specialty sandwiches, grass-fed beef and bison burgers, falafel and gyros, vegetarian and gluten-free options, hand-cut fries, open Tuesday through Friday, 11:30 to 4:30 to Saturday, 11 to 3:30 in Grass Valley, off McKnight Way, left of Kmart, online afternoondeli.com. And thank you, Asylum Down Yabobo, offering much, much more than world music and authentic musical instruments from around the world. Yabobo also offers Indian bedspread tapestries, incense, deities, jewelry, belly dance accessories, beads, t-shirts, posters, pottery, wind chimes, and more. What? Open daily at 107 North Pine, downtown Nevada City. Yakoke Cheeto, second time around. A Native American-owned store buying and selling quality used furniture, household accessories, fine jewelry, and collectibles at 112 Argyle Way, Nevada City. Open 10 to 5, Monday through Saturday, 530-265-8844. Any old business? Any new business? Tomorrow night here at the Nevada Theater, which backs up to the KVMR studio, we're having our variety show. So you get to see the broadcasters unveiling other sides of themselves. I don't know if there's going to be dancing, singing. There will be comedy acts, thrills, chills, and excitement for all. And I'll be your barmaid. So come by, support community radio, entertain yourself, and have a Sierra Nevada. It's no big deal, right? Okay, kids. Well, I can't think of anything else relevant to say except for we got some Bear Fox, Joanne Shenandoah, Mary Youngblood coming up. Behave.
Today is the day you're feeling alright, whether in the morning or the...
It's this Friday, 7:30 p.m. at the Nevada Theater, downtown Nevada City. The KVMR Variety Show, a fundraiser for the Bridge Street Project, with all proceeds going to help us pay off the costs of our new building and our Nevada Theater expansion. Oh, there'll be comedy with our late-night crazies, the American Cosmonauts. You'll hear Balkan music from Pod Drewski. Tom Wolfe will get some words in edgewise, music from Paul Emery and Kim Rogers, the KVMR girls singing that KVMR song, the Heiferbells, and much, much more from our broadcasters and volunteers donating their talents to help our building fund. Plus, there'll be an art show and sale in the KVMR community room with part of the proceeds going to the Bridge Street Project as well. So come early, come often at the KVMR Variety Show, because variety is the spice of life, and hopefully we're the spice of yours.
You don't have to go far, just tune into KVMR.
Now, this is a true story. This happened in a Turtle Mountain. Around about 1910, this happened. And a lot of people in the Turtle Mountain seen this. On the edge of the hills, at that time, there was no highways. There was no highways in the Turtle Mountain. All there was wagon trails. All they used was wagons, horses, buggies, and things like that. On the edge of the hills, this road happened to be a wagon trail on the edge of the hills. And there was a big spring there. They call it the Holy Spring. The Holy Spring. And one day was nice, and there was a great big black cloud came from the northeast. Big black cloud came over that spring, and it stayed there. It stayed there, lightning and different things. Lightning, thundering, and water raining. And all of a sudden, the people they seen this great big snake was drawn up from that cloud. He was drawn up from that cloud. They even seen his spots on the snake, great big snake. And this happened to be an old couple. They went after their ration in Belcourt in a buggy, and that's the road they came on. And when they got in this big rain, and they stopped, and they got underneath the buggy and held the lines. This man get away from the rain. And this lady looked out. He's seen this great big snake sticking out of the cloud, and lightning would strike that snake once in a while, and he'd go up, and he'd go up. And this lady told his husband, he said, look, there's a great big snake, he said, it's going in that cloud. And this man told his wife, you're not supposed to look at anything like that. He said, you're not supposed to look at anything like that. My dad said there was maybe about 200 yards from that spring where that great big snake was curled up. He said it must have been about 10 or 15 foot from the wagon trail, he said, from the wagon trail. He said that's what happened there. My dad and them seen that, my mother, and a lot of people in Turtle Mountain seen that lived near, close around there, seen this big snake was taken up. There was two things happening there. There was a big rock in there. I said, a great big stone. He said, it must have been about 15, 20-ton stone, he said. He said that stone rolled about a quarter of a mile, he said. My dad seen that stone. He said it must have been shortly after, he said, because there was dirt on that stone. He said 50 people, he said, couldn't budge that rock. That rock rolled about a quarter of a mile away, he said. So that's what happened there, about this big snake was taken up in that cloud. And the old people, they claim these big serpents. There's big serpents. That's what keeps them down underneath, is these rains and thunders. That's what they claim. Because last year, this happened in Sandy Bay in Canada. This farmer, in the middle of his field, there was a great big hole in there. They claim a serpent was taken out of there by the thunderbirds. People don't believe in thunder, these clouds, rain clouds. But the West Indians today, we believe that. We believe that because we've been here a long, long time in this Turtle Island.
Glob, you guys. What a morning. I got a full studio. It makes me kind of proud. So we have Alan Wallace on deck, who's going to talk about the Maidu Museum Art Show. And Richie is standing by to talk about his music as well as his non-prof. So as we're kind of nipping at each other, feeling it out, I think this guy's going to blow our minds. So be ready at about 11 o'clock to focus. But I'll keep taking it easy on you and keep playing the music. Michael Reno Harrell performs for an evening of Appalachian music and stories on Saturday, November 21st, 7 to 10 p.m. at the Marshall Grange, 4940 Marshall Road in Garden Valley. Keith Little will be at Michael's performance. Desserts and beverages will be available for purchase. marshallgrange.org. App and Glow Sports opens its 10th annual winter film series with Dave Nettles' film Climbing in India, from the Ganges River to the rooftop of the Himalaya. The movie will be shown on Thursday, November 19th, 7 p.m. at Squaw Valley's Olympic Village Lodge. All ages are welcome and proceeds benefit local Tahoe nonprofits. appandglowsports.com. Is it just me, or is Climbing in India from the Ganges River to the rooftop of the Himalaya the longest title for a movie ever? Oh, my poor little tongue-twisted jaw. All right, you guys, well, let's get back to the music because there's some stuff going on in the studio. I'm really excited. We'll be back. I'd like to welcome Dr. Oscar Perez to the studio. Oscar has an 8-week holiday writing class coming up. And Oscar, why don't you tell us all about you and all about the writing class?
Okay, hey Jen. So, my name is Oscar Perez, like Jennifer said, and I work with people on grief and how to work through unresolved grief, either because of the loss of a loved one or the death of a loved one, but also because of the experiences that we have throughout our life that are sources of sorrow. And when that sorrow is untended, it tends to show up in other more damaging ways in our lives. And so this class is called Wise Words, Healing Through the Holidays. And the purpose of the class is to give people an outlet to express some of those unresolved sorrows that they carry in relation to the holidays. Because while we see on TV and every single store we go into that the holidays are happy, gift-giving, gluttonous eating times, for a lot of us, they have some more painful connotations. And so in this 8-week course, what we're going to be doing is working with the medium of writing and a few different exercises and modalities on really being able to tap into some of that unresolved sorrow and start actually getting it out in a way that is supportive and safe and is mutually beneficial for everybody that's involved.
Do you have to be a pro writer to come, or is it you're just using writing to express yourself, but you don't necessarily have to be a published author or poet?
No, not at all. You don't have to be a published author or poet. And actually, I'd encourage people that aren't to show up, because it's all about just the raw expression of yourself. And the way that this is going to work is that people that want to share some of what they've written can. Nobody's going to be asked to share anything that they don't want to. And whatever feedback will be given to them is going to be positive feedback on images or ideas that resonated with the whole group. It's not about helping other people become published authors or poets. It's more about just the shared human experience of carrying some of the sorrow that comes up for, like I said, many of us during these holidays.
And where is it going to be? Oh, wait, it's going to be here at the KVMR building. And I've heard pre-registration is required. How can people get a hold of you to learn more information or get signed up?
Okay. So if you're on Facebook, you can check out a link that's on the Dreamwalk KVMR Facebook page, which if you haven't liked it, you need to go there and like it now. You can also contact me directly at 831-607-9404. Again, that is 831-607-9404. Or you can look me up on my website, and that is www.inlakechcoaching.com. inlakechcoaching.com.
Well, thank you, Oscar. I look forward to this writing class and emotionally vomiting on you instead of in the awkward and destructive ways during family dinners or at the mall like I usually do. So we hope to see you there. Thank you, Dr. Oscar Perez.
Thank you, Miss Jeff. It's going to be awesome.
I believe it. I'd like to welcome Luana Lamb, Chapel Indian Health Services Diabetes Manager, and Jay Sanchez, Lifestyle Coach and Certified Personal Trainer.
So today, Jay's going to give us some ways to exercise in this amazing heat we're having and do it safely, but still maintain our exercise and our physical fitness.
So if you are new to exercise, there are a few things you can do to keep safe. Getting your doctor's clearance would be the first step. Start slowly and gradually and build up from there. Exercise can be as simple as walking some extra steps by parking farther away from the entrance when you go grocery shopping. Something else we want to do is always listen to your body. You should be able to feel your heart rate increase, but still be able to carry a conversation. If you're having difficulty catching your breath, then it's time to take a rest. If you experience any chest pain, feel lightheaded or dizzy, then it's time to stop. And if these symptoms persist, go ahead and get yourself some medical attention as soon as possible. And as Luana mentioned, now that the weather is warming up, now we need to be a little bit mindful of how to exercise when it's hot outside. If you do choose to exercise outdoors, be sure to keep water with you. Drinking water will keep you hydrated as well as keep you cool. If possible, exercise in the early morning or later in the evening when temperatures are lower. When the heat becomes a bit too much, you can always head indoors to do your exercise. Walking laps inside the mall can be a great workout. Just keep your window shopping to a minimum. There are extra precautions to take if you have been diagnosed with diabetes. Always check your blood sugar before and after exercise. Keep a snack handy in case your blood sugar gets too low. Also, be sure your socks and shoes are a good fit to avoid blisters or any irritation to your feet. So by keeping safe and physically active, we can all live healthier lives.
That's great. So I can still exercise while it's hot?
Of course.
Okay.
Just keep yourself cool.
Okay.
Well, thank you guys so much for being here and trying to keep us feeling good on the inside and looking good on the outside. You can reach Chapel Indian Health at
530-889-3765.
Well, until next time, we'll talk to you then. Bye.
Thanks again.
Thanks for having us.
afraid of love or its consequence of light. It's not easy to say this or anything, but my entrails dangle between paradise and fear. I am ashamed. I never had the words to carry a friend from her death to the stars correctly, or the words to keep my people safe from drought or gunshot. stars who were created by words are circling over this house formed of calcium of blood. This house in danger of being torn apart by stones of fear.
Enjoying that Joy Harjo in the background. I gotta get her on here. I know somebody who knows somebody. So we should make that happen in the new year. Because believe it or not, this Dreamwalk program is booked until like almost mid-November. Why? What's happening? Jana Mashoni. I got off the phone with Vince Fontaine yesterday from Eagle and Hawk in Indian City. Who else was I stalking? Oh yeah, Fawn Wood. So it's going to be a cool little December. But enough about the future. Let's talk about now. The here and now, people. I'd like to welcome to the Dreamwalk program, Mr. Alan Wallace. Welcome, Alice. Introduce yourself to our listeners.
Well, I'm not Alice.
Alice Wallace. Mr. Alan Wallace.
Hello.
Hello. So what drags you in here today? The wind?
Yes, sort of. Yeah, I just came up about the show we're having this Saturday evening. It's doors open 6:30. It's a Dalbert Castro retrospective painting at the Maidu Museum in Roseville. So that's kind of why I'm here, really, to talk about his work and a little bit. And he's my uncle, so it's like a lot of things to talk about. But it's hard to.
So you're giving us the inside track on like the gossip on your uncle, or are we going to talk about his work? Because I could go either way.
Yeah, so could I, but I'll probably stick with the work.
That's nice of you.
Yeah.
Good nephew.
Yeah. Yeah. We opened up the stuff the other day, and people brought in things. There's like 36 pieces in the show, which is pretty good. A lot of those things haven't been shown together. He started in the 70s, so
wow.
We have one piece that's like last year, so it's pretty interesting to look at his work and stuff. And Frank Lapina will give like a little opening, and he's the former chair of the Native American Studies Department at Sac State and a art painter and stuff. So he'll give his painterly view, and maybe a few of us will get up and talk about our uncle view, which would be kind of cool because he was a good man to us, So
that's great. And are these paintings for sale or just for show?
They're for show. They're all from private collections,
Ooh.
So, like I say, we had to kind of pull some from here and there, and there's like 50 down at the Oakland Museum. Well, we tried to get, but we couldn't get. But there's a lot out there, so it's kind of neat to see them.
That's amazing. So sock it to us one more time. It's this Saturday?
Yeah, at the Maidu Museum in Roseville off of Johnson Ranch Road. Doors open at 6:30, and Frank will talk about 7, and people can wander around. There'll be stuff downstairs, his work downstairs and upstairs in the gallery upstairs. So
that is a beautiful building.
Yeah, it's a nice building. It's a good thing. It'd be nice to see some of his work. We're trying to get him down, but I don't know if he's going to make it. I don't think so, but it'd be nice if he could show up and kind of just bathe in a little bit of glory, because he deserves it.
All right, fingers and toes crossed. So for information, they can go to our Dreamwalk KVMR Facebook. The Roseville Maidu Museum had a Facebook.
Yes.
And is there a website or a phone number, or just show up?
All. Yeah, phone number is 916-774-5934, and you can get any kind of information you want there. So everybody down there is really helpful.
Yay! All right, well, we hope to see all of y'all there. Attire, do we have to dress nice or just come as you are? I mean, when I hear art show, I'm like, oh no, I have to brush my hair, makeup things.
Bath within 2 or 3 days is acceptable.
Okay.
I think, yeah.
All right, so
it's pretty.
Your Friday best, okay.
Yeah, it's pretty simple stuff.
Alan Wallace, thank you so much for joining us. I really appreciate your time. And again, Maidu Museum on Facebook. We'll be back.
in and out of blurrings. It was from in a somewhere's distant distance. He heard the crazy old fool's voice calling him, quick pulling him out from a stalking, silenting. It was then when he absorbed into Aziz's dream, beyond shadow stars, into an unshackling of time. Ancient chants were rechanting those memories in the being of being and thoughts of feeling free. In a reality of we will always be hunter-gatherers. It's in how we hunt, what we hunt, when we hunt. How we gather, what we gather, when we gather. Why we hunt and ways we gather have changed. Now hunter-gatherers are the hunted and gathered. Hunted and gathered by a technologic predator. Electrical in design, altering the circuits in the mind. All the ways many thoughts can turn and run away. Desperation, trying to run away from desperation. We all have our reasons for doing whatever we do. Sometimes we kind of understand those reasons. Other times there's no explaining what we're up to. Life, too, has its reasons and lessons to experience. Lessons and reasons as ways of remembering spirit. Rememberings that spirit is being, is energy we use. Human is a form that being communicates through. Energy generated as thought, actualized into power. Hunted and gathered by a technologic predator, recircuiting the energy of thinking into distortions, wiring those distortions into patterns of believing, processing the energy into fuels for their feedings. Using civilizations as a tuning fork, stirring up chaoses, shape-shiftings, fluctuating currents, static frequencies, programmed human behaviors, not remembering reason, environments that we can't recognize or sense abilities, turned hunter-gatherers into the hunted and the gathered.
That was fun. That was John Trudale and Wazzy's Dream off his 2015 Wazzy's Dream. It's always fun to see him. I just imagine him so clearly in my mind all the times I've seen him, you know, just staring at him, doing his thing, saying his words. Good times. Keep praying for him. He's going to get better. I know it. The Hanson Brothers and HBE Rentals, filling propane tanks of all sizes at their Grass Valley and Colfax yards. Close RV access from the freeway. HB Rentals, Grass Valley, 273-3100. Colfax is 346-8000. Online, hbe.com. Williams Stationery, 112 West Main Street, downtown Grass Valley, offering Nevada County business and residents for over 66 years of service. An independently owned, family-operated, full-service, direct delivery office supply company carrying janitorial supplies and office furniture. Williams, allvalue.com. And this is KVMR-FM, Nevada City, KCPC, Camino. We're going to keep rolling. For the 11 o'clock hour, we'd love to thank South Pine Cafe in Nevada City and Grass Valley, offering breakfast and lunch all day with specialties like huevos rancheros and tofu scrambles. South Pine Cafe is in downtown Nevada City at 1110 South Pine Street and 102 Richardson Street in Grass Valley. Menus online, southpinecafe.com. Ride Out Ear, Nose, and Throat Clinics in Grass Valley and Yuba City, providing treatment of ear, nose, and throat disorders and specializing in surgical procedures of the head and neck through procedures and services including sinus care, allergy, audiology, and more. Online, rideoutent.org. So basically, if it's above the shoulders and not the brain, go ahead and call Rideout. I would like to welcome to the studio Richie Ledreagle of Indigenous Circles United and Indigenous Warrior Enterprises. Welcome, Richie.
Blessings. Thank you.
So what up? Introduce yourself to anybody. We got the connection made by our little friend Joseph Arthur, who's like, you need to call this guy. I'm like, you're not the boss of me. He said, do it. And I said, fine. So here you is.
Yes. My name is actually Richard Luis Regudo Jr. I just want to offer my blessings to everybody out there listening right now, and my good thoughts and my good prayers, add them onto yours in a good way. Appreciate the connection. Joseph Arthur actually works on quite a few different language projects, and he helped us with our website for our nonprofit organization, which is Indigenous Circles United. My artist name is Richie Ledreagle. I've actually been out on tour for about a year and a half now. Just recently went down to Big Pine, California, and did a concert and workshops there, Round Valley, and then also Shingle Springs, California. So just grateful and full of gratitude to be here. I appreciate you offering me this opportunity.
Word. Obviously, you deserve it because you're nailing it. I was like, is he going to be a talker? Is this guy just sensitive and quiet? And you always take the gamble, too. He's a rapper, so maybe he just won't shut up. But here you are, like, articulate, thoughtful. What a kid. Well, tell us more about Indigenous Circles United, because here in this neck of the woods, we have Sierra Native Alliance, which is the only nonprofit that I was personally aware of in the area that does work with families, children, language preservation, and kind of, makes that a priority. So please share with us about Indigenous Circles.
Okay. Yeah, well, Indigenous Circles United was actually co-founded by my wife and I. We both had similar ideas in regards to programming and services that we thought were necessary for our Native youth and their families. And we got together initially through work and working with the youth. And then we actually formed a relationship and decided that it was time for a program to be developed. And we opened our doors in 2011. And our mission is to sustain indigenous culture through applied traditions while acknowledging and providing ample opportunity for personal growth and educational excellence.
I would like you to expand upon applied tradition, because a lot of people nowadays just Google this or show up at a powwow that. So I really would like you to expand upon that applied tradition that means something.
Okay, well, I can only speak from our behalf and our philosophy.
That's all we can ever do, baby.
So, applied traditions to us, you know, from our perspective, is actually not just talking about tradition, but being part and active in working on, say, for example, your regalia, going to gather, you know, and being knowledgeable about family story, oral history, and things like that. And so when we talk about applied traditions, it's actually part of being part of the actual ceremony that we conduct, you know, and so that's from our perspective and our philosophy.
That's awesome. So what kind of services and classes do you guys offer? Where are you? Again, Calusa?
Yeah, well, we're based out of Calusa, California. Right now, like I said, we've been traveling all up and down California, offering these workshops through different tribes and tribal entities. So we're definitely on the road. We travel a lot, and our home base is in Calusa. We offer educational services. We partnered with a local tribal entity just recently. Next Monday is actually our first day of tutoring there with that program.
Yay.
So we offer tutoring services, some more extensive services in regards to education. My wife, both, and I sit in on IEPs, which are individual education plans, 504s, and try to provide parents with resources as well as their children. Besides that, we have a vocational training program. We actually train in silk screening.
Dang, Richie.
Yeah, so we do vocational training, and then above and beyond everything else is exposing our youth, and especially our inner city youth, to culture and tradition.
That's amazing. So the silk screening, you guys can design us some awesome T-shirts as like homework.
Yep, definitely. We could do that. We have our vocational training aspect set up through the nonprofit, and then part of Indigenous Warrior Enterprises is Indigenous Warriors clothing.
Shut up.
Yeah, so
you gotta put links on our Facebook.
Yep, I'll give you guys some links, and
you guys should get into dog clothes, and then I'll really start wasting my money.
Believe it or not, my dad actually, this funny story how the clothing line kind of started is that my dad and his partner at the time had about 8 sewing machines in their garage. And I told them Native American fashion is going to be the next big thing in the market. And this was about 10 years ago. All right. And they started designing dog clothes.
Yeah.
They were doing dog clothes, and then they did jackets similar to the one I'm wearing, but it had Native American aspects to it. And lo and behold, you know, a few years later, it's actually one of the biggest things in the market now. So
that's great. And you guys have a website and set up your sales, and people can get a hold of you?
Yeah, we do have a website for indigenouswarriorsclothing.com, and then also a Facebook page where you can actually click on the link and purchase clothing as well.
How cool is that?
It's been exciting.
So you kind of got your hands in like anything and all things right now.
Yeah, I think that it's extremely vital to have, you know, all resources in your tool belt, you know, or in your bag of tools. And you know, you spoke and touched on a little bit earlier, and it touched me, is that media has a lot to do with that. And so, you know, it's not only through our nonprofit, but the music and the fashion tends to draw the younger generation in so that they can actually receive that message and the service.
No, and again, the social media aspect too, like as Native people, we're kind of scattered to the wind, you know, reservations far apart, people on res, off res, and we found each other and now create these little networks. Mm-hmm. And this Native fashion, it feels good and like represent, you know, there's like a what up when you pass somebody or see like the only other Indigenous person around, and you know, there's a diamond or something, you're like, what up? So it's kind of cool that we're getting, being part of something in a respectful way, being brought into fashion, not things stolen from or ideas stolen from, but our art is becoming fashion.
Exactly.
It's cool. So cool. Well, tell me about the, you guys had something in September and didn't bother A, inviting me, B, calling me, or C, something. Nobody let me know. Even little Cody Blackbird, I talked to him in like July. Right. And I was like, dude, bro, what's up with that thing? Come through. And he's like, I don't know. You know, Cody. Puff, puff, pass the flute.
Right.
So seriously. And then it like came and went, and I saw like pictures afterwards, and like, you guys are busted. So what was that? An activism award? Something magical? You guys, it wasn't necessarily a music awards thing. It was for people involved in indigenous activism.
Yeah, it was actually the Indigenous Artists Activist Awards, and I was trying to look it up on my page here, but yeah, during that event, we actually honored over 30 Indigenous artist activists from all over the world, and we were able to honor quite a few people that are making things happen for our Indigenous people, including our elders, some of our artists that are actually in the music, and then some of the activists that are just out there on the front lines and making things happen. And Cody Thomas Blackbird was one of the people that we invited because he came out to our youth summit. We host an annual youth summit through our nonprofit every year where we host about 100 Native youth from all over California. Cody came and volunteered his time for our youth summit and did a workshop and spent time with our youth, so we appreciated that.
Was that the little hip-hop event that, again, nobody invited me to or told me about?
I was actually part of that as well, the Native Hip Hop Symposium with Frank Wan and Tall Paul. Cisco Gower was there offering a workshop, and then myself, Richie Ledreagle, and it was a great event, and from this point on, I can say I'll extend that personal invitation to make sure that you're invited in, or at least aware of our events that we host and co-host or sponsor.
Yeah, we love to share stuff. This community is surprisingly supportive of Indigenous things. So I want to know, what is an activist? Like, what makes you a Native American activist and not just an activist for saving water? Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I think, if you're out and you're working on issues and challenges that are affecting Native communities in particular, and and you're active in that field, and I think that I don't want to say qualifies you as a Native American activist, because I honestly don't even know what would technically qualify somebody as an activist. I mean, is it somebody just holding a sign or picketing? Is it somebody that's...
You have to get arrested X amount of times?
I mean, yeah, there's no real, to me, there's no real gauge on what makes you an activist or not. I think if you have compassion for Mother Earth, and you're willing to utilize your own personal resources and your own energy and time and maybe sometimes money, then, that puts you in a certain category. Is that being an activist? I'm not sure. I know, to me, it means working on everything that has to do with the future of our Native people. And if that means my part of being an activist might be just the music guy. It might be just Richie Ledreagle. That might be my part. That might be what I was sent here to do in regards to helping Indigenous people. I don't think that's true. I like to do other things in our community, and such as fundraising, developing programs, educational curriculum, some of the federal policies and procedures that are in place right now, things that have been put upon our people that we're still dealing with. But that's just me. So I can't. I know that's a long answer.
No, but you can't nominate yourself either.
Right, exactly.
You have to be humble. There's something to the work that we do as Native people, which kind of, like you said, just by being, in a way, your focus is trying to take care of our earth, our resources, and each other.
Right.
Makes you an activist, but at the same time, as Indigenous people, that's what we're kind of taught to do.
Right.
So,
that's a good point, because a lot of people, and I'm to this day, I'm extremely humbled and full of gratitude of the people that we were able to honor that accepted it, because they knew of our work and what we're doing in the community and the people that we're connected to. A lot of people didn't want to accept those awards. They didn't want the publicity. And they truly meant that, but they did it out of respect for our movement and what we're trying to do to keep carrying our culture on. But
you have to do it because you love it. And whatever follows after that doesn't matter, because you're doing what you love. And surprisingly enough, 97.2% of the time, that path leads you to good.
Right.
And that path takes care of you. So it's kind of cool stuff. So now that we've seen like this deep side and this activist side and spiritual warrior side. Let's talk about the rap game.
All right.
So what's up with it? Because like I saw on the back of your CD that you just gave me, there's some names. Break it down. Bust it out.
All right. Yeah, there is
Who you
some
rolling with?
pretty heavy names. I mentioned already Brother John Trudell. He has 4 spoken word pieces on the project. Him and Cody Thomas Blackbird are on those 4 pieces. No, we have Mr. Chief Chanta, who's a native reggae artist.
Yeah.
You know, he actually was able to perform with Nako Bear last year at Reggae on the River.
That's so cool.
Yep, they opened up for one of the headliners there on Reggae. We have Aranessa Turner, who was on American Idol. She's a
whoa.
California.
Never seen that show. I don't know.
California native. She's on the project. Cochise, brother Cochise from Canada. He's on the project. We have Stewie G. That's my boy, young generation representing. He's part of the Savage family. Him, as well as Cisco Gower and Antlope, who are the co-founders of the Savage family. And then I think that's it in regards to features.
What? I mean, this is off the Indigenous Warrior, but what have you done before? Like, is this your first project or is there other stuff?
No, I've actually... kind of giving away my age, but I've actually been involved in the music industry for over 20 years.
Dang.
So yeah, I was part of a group at one point. That group was myself, my producer, one of my producers I'm still working with, and a really good friend. We're all still connected. Then I released a solo album that was self-titled Ledreagle, Leo Dragon Eagle. That's where the name comes from.
Freaking love it.
Yeah, it's a combination of my zodiac sign, Chinese zodiac sign, and the Native American spirit guide, Leo Dragon Eagle, which combined is Ledreagle. And then we had an underground project that was released called Thug's Prayer, Richie Ledreagle Thug's Prayer, and then now we have the Richie Ledreagle Indigenous Warrior Project. And I do want to say that although it may seem as if it's my project, I'm kind of, if you look at the names and when you have a chance to listen to the project, it's a culmination of a lot of great artists and people that put a lot of hard work into making the project happen.
Well, I'd like to discuss just rap in general as a medium for art. It really has a power within our communities, and it's starting to save the youth.
Yep. As
an expression. And what inspires you when you pick up the pen? Do you make your own beats? Like, what's kind of the process?
I don't produce. I don't make my own beats. I have a couple different producers that I'm working with. DJ Luke, he's out of Sacramento. He works with a lot of mainstream Bay Area artists. My producer, DeMaker. He's the producer I've been working with for over 20 years. When I write music, though, I try to let the creator take over and just be the vessel. So whenever I try to go into working on a song or writing a song where it's like my idea, it tends to not work out. So I just try to channel myself and through prayer, through strong prayer, in hopes that the message can be delivered through me.
Dang, now I'm even more excited about hearing this album, because if it's just straight channeled from creator rap, then what?
Yeah, it's a great project. I'd like to let the music speak for itself, but we've had a great response. I thought our main demographic and our number one fan would be kids from the age of 15 to maybe 25, but we've actually found that our main demographic and purchaser of product and everything else are actually our elders. So we're excited about that.
I love it. I can totally see a whole bunch of braided elders just bumping it hardcore, or holding the wheel with one arm, lean back. He's like, I taught him that story. That's so awesome. So what's coming up next? Are you guys going to tour again soon, this album, or is it hard because everybody's a compiled compilation?
Yeah, it's not really that hard because we pretty good at organizing and stuff like that. The only thing is that, personally, I'm trying to take a month or two off so that I can spend some time at home and spend time with the family.
Well, it's the time of year for it. Everybody else just kind of shuts down and starts freaking out about the holidays. So you might as well just write it out at home.
Yeah.
Hugging the wife.
Trying to be prepared for that.
That's awesome. Well, Richie.
Yes, ma'am.
Like, I'm so freaked out. I would like to let you keep talking because I think you're awesome and I totally respect you as a person. But I got to play some of your jams. Like, this is killing me. Like, I don't even know what to talk about anymore because I need to hear what's up.
All right, yeah, let's play track number 11 featuring Aaronessa Turner.
And the name of it?
Smile.
All right. Well, you guys enjoy this and thanks for listening. We'll be back.
Give me words that bring tears. Touch hearts, move souls, remove fears. Take time to build foundations, spark movements. Motivate the meek and the weak every day of the week. Words I speak, be truthful, not hurtful. Please give me the courage to stand up for things that I believe in, the movement, the cause. Everything connected, Mother Earth to the stars.
That's why I know you see some things going through a lot of feeling like you want to give it up. Just smile. I know it gets rough. Don't beat yourself up, bending down on your luck. Just smile. Just smile.
They never really love you like they say they do. If they did, they wouldn't lie to you in grammar school. They wouldn't feed you all these lies with a splinted spoon. They would nurture you and care for you like grandmas do. They never really love you like they say they do. If they did, they wouldn't lie to you in grammar school. They wouldn't feed you all these lies with a splinted spoon. They would nurture you and care for you like grandmas do. We've been told for too long to stick to demographics, believing what we see on TV. It's plastic. Politicians corrupted, no money for classes. Droughts, no crops, crooked cops, drastic. Hood to reservation, Genesis, Revelations, hoodlums and heathens. All my relations, pledge to my savages, native and indigenous. Never will they hold us down, never getting rid of us.
That's why I know you see some things going through a lot of feeling like you want to give it up. Just smile. I know it gets rough. Don't beat yourself up, bending down on your luck. Just smile. It only lasts a while. I know you see some things going through a lot of feeling like you want to give it up. Just smile. Just smile.
They never really love you like they say they do. If they did, they wouldn't lie to you in grammar school. They wouldn't feed you all these lies with a splinted spoon. They would nurture you and care for you like grandmas do. They never really love you like they say they do. If they did, they wouldn't lie to you in grammar school. They wouldn't feed you all these lies with a splinted spoon. They would nurture you and care for you like grandmas do. No matter the movement, no matter what occasion, we are one people, one native nation, connected by the cause, sacrificing lost. The time is right now, and now the time is ours. Indigenous, listen to the flow. Native American, I don't know more. Aaronessa Turner, Richie Ledreagle, the hope of a nation, the voice of the people.
That's why I know you see some things going through a lot of feeling like you want to give it up. Just smile. I know it gets rough. Don't beat yourself up, bending down on your luck. Just smile. It only lasts a while. I know you see some things going through a lot of feeling like you want to give it up. Just smile. Just smile.
They never really love you like they say they do. If they did, they wouldn't lie to you in grammar school. They wouldn't feed you all these lies with a splinted spoon. They would nurture you and care for you like grandmas do. They never really love you like they say they do. If they did, they wouldn't lie to you in grammar school. They wouldn't feed you all these lies with a splinted spoon. They would nurture you and care for you like grandmas do.
Wowza. How fun was that?
It was awesome. Yeah, Aaronessa actually came down to the studio. You know, a lot of times with technology nowadays, you don't actually get to work with the artist in person. But
what do they do? Like email you?
Yeah, that's how
Here's
it works
a hook
sometimes.
Attachment.
Yeah, but Aaronessa was down in the studio. There's actually an interesting story behind that song in particular.
Break it down.
She was on American Idol. I seen her, and I was all giddy because people were posting on the magical world of Facebook. that, there's a California native girl on American Idol. So I told my wife, maybe I should try to get her on the project. And it was the very beginning stages of the project. My wife was like, I don't know. Doesn't seem like it could be possible. So we're on our way to Disneyland, and we're on the highway. A bus pulls next to us, and there's a billboard on the side of the bus. On the side of the billboard, guess who it is? Aaronessa Turner.
Shut up.
So I was like, maybe this is kind of a sign.
Kinda?
And this is a true story. So we're driving still, and we turn the corner. We see a bigger billboard on the side of the road. Aaronessa Turner. Yeah. I'm serious. We turn the radio on, and there's someone from American Idol's being interviewed. Guess who it is? Aaronessa Turner. So at that point, I figured, maybe the universe was working in our direction, and ended up going to a fatherhood and motherhood is sacred training. And they said, you know what? We have a special performer at the end of the training, and it was Aaronessa Turner. So I met up with her, asked her to be on the project, and originally she said no, she wasn't interested.
Why?
I'm not quite sure, but all I know is one of our elders, Brother Albert Titman Sr., he came up and he said, you know what? Whatever this guy is telling you is the truth. Whatever he's saying is true. And she said, you know what? Maybe let me check out the track. Maybe I'll be on it. And she listened to the track, and we were in the studio 2 weeks later.
That's awesome. I don't know. I find it weird, and especially in our indigenous community, because that's where magic does happen.
Right.
And I kind of feel, I don't know how do I poke at you and say this? Richie, why did it take you 98 billboards to be like, oh, maybe I should call her? It should have been one. I'm like, oh, that's a sign. I make signs out of nothing.
Right.
There's a third of Cheerios left. That means something. But no, in our indigenous community, I act upon things more willingly than I do in the outside world.
Right.
Because our connections happen like that. There's these things buzzing in my world and things buzzing in your world, and all of a sudden it brings us together and create something that's freaking awesome.
Yeah, it is actually, and I think that brings up a good point that I can talk about, is that I'm a human being as well, and so probably had to do with some insecurities, because I'm normal like everybody else. A lot of times people see me on my Facebook page, or they see the artist Richie Ledreagle and the things that I'm doing in the community, but they don't see the vulnerable side of me sometimes, and that warrior inside of me that washes dishes and does laundry and does all of those other things that are necessary. And so I'm a human being, so I think it was my insecurity affecting me of why I didn't reach out originally.
But see, you're learning to step into your strength and your power. We freaking exist. We exist. And all the ancestors and all the experiences and all the incidences that led to not only us being born, like Woody here in his birthday, but 2, bringing us together. So these forces that have been at work forever are still at work.
Right.
So stand taller, dude. You're onto something. You're a freaking cool cat. You bring the rap game. I'm not going to lie. I got a little worried. I'm like, okay, just be nice no matter what you hear, Mischief.
Yeah.
Be cool. I didn't have to. I didn't have to fake it with you. So I really appreciate it.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it as well.
So as you wind down the rest of this year, family style, what would you like to see happen for Indigenous Warrior Enterprises or Indigenous Circles United in the upcoming year, the next year?
Next year, we're looking forward to our youth summit. Like I said, we sponsor and host a youth summit every year. We're looking forward to that growing. So if anybody's interested, you can look us up on Facebook at Indigenous Circles United.
And this is all youth, right? This isn't something that's just closed to Native American youth. This is all youth.
Yep, very inclusive. I wasn't going to mention his name, but a lot of people know my dad. His name is Razzle Dazzle, and he's very inclusive, and he offers
started
services.
my grass dance moves now.
Awesome.
Just got my hips going.
So we're inclusive. We do have a Native philosophy, an Indigenous philosophy, but our program and our services are actually open to everybody.
That's awesome. I'm a victim of nepotism as well.
Okay.
My dad has been on the show for a decade plus, and he came in 5 years, 10 years into the program. So, you know what? Yeah, we stand on our own, but I will play Michael Ben's my dad, and he said I could.
Yeah, I try to, walk my own path, but in these years, in the path that I'm walking now, are very similar to my dad's path. So, I'd like to say we're walking side by side.
Okay, so I'm just going to ask, how old are you?
I'm 39.
Okay, I'm 35.
All right.
So it is a weird thing because 39 years ago, our parents were young.
Right.
So we have formed these opinions of them and watched them. And I remember I wrote my mom a letter when I was like 20 saying, "You've grown so much, Mom. I'm like proud of you for not being evil anymore." But really, it was the one I'm growing. So as much as we try to rip away from our parents to stand on our own and be our own thing, there's still a shared path there as well. And we're part of something which is a family, which is evolving and surviving and growing and learning together. So
yeah, for sure.
It's kind of funny. I feel tethered in a way. Like I only get so far before I'm sucked right back in. Yeah,
I mean, my dad's a great person. I got to see both sides of his life, fortunately. So I learned a lot from that aspect when he was out there and not clean and sober to the last 20 something years that he has been clean and sober.
Awesome.
Yeah, so I appreciate that.
But again, it's so interesting when I get frustrated about things. They were learning too. Just because they created a human doesn't mean they know anything. And maybe you have this too, okay? Because your dad had a change many decades ago. My dad taught me things. And then he changed his mind or learned otherwise, but never bothered sending me the revision.
Right.
Like, hey, I know I taught you don't ask for help, but I've learned the past 10 years to ask for help, but I forgot to remind you.
Right.
To ask for help. So it's like I keep bugging him just once a year. Give me a Cliff Note revision. Hey, I told you this. I was totally wrong about that.
Right.
Or, oh, hey, I learned this. This is pretty cool to make your life easier. Try this. It's like...
Yeah, we actually over at an elders gathering in Mount Shasta when I turned 18, my dad had pulled me to the side and said, I want to love you, but I don't know how, and I was never taught that. So I told him that day that we're going to learn together, and so that's the path that we've been on since then.
It's so beautiful. Well, Richie, I'm itching for some more of your music.
Yeah, play track number.
I put on 6.
Number 6, what is that?
Well, I want it like California or the Natives one, and followed by some John Trudell. What do you think?
California's a good one.
Not the Cali, but the California.
Either one of those two. Cali's a good one too. That video is actually on YouTube right now. Yeah, as well as our track number 3, Better, is on YouTube, an animated video.
And where can they get this album? Is it available for purchase iTunes, Amazon, whatever?
Yep, I'm all over Amazon. I'm Amazon.com, iTunes, and wherever digital music is available. But what I just did recently was I put the whole album on SoundCloud so that all of our indigenous people can download it for free.
Word. All right, well, let's get to the music. Thanks for listening.
I'm the new equation, the new scenario, the new sound coming out your stereo, the movement so subliminal, lots of love, opposition minimal, gift to gab, gift to spit. I'm a native sav, I'm indigenous, beast. I'm a beast indeed. Yeah, I fast, but I feast indeed. Live my life like a rock star. Reggae festivals, rock star. Go hard for the people, I'm a monster. I'm the movement, and it's non-stop. 247, I am on the clock. 365, I am on the spot. Even when I'm chilling, man, I'm keeping it hot. And I'm always fly like a red hot. I'm C-A-L-I-F-O-R-N-I-A. I'm fly like a red hot. And I rap Cali from the rest of the block. I'm C-A-L-I-F-O-R-N-I-A. I'm fly like a red hawk, and I rap Cali from the rest of the block. Now that you're rolling, I got your attention. There's a couple things that I'd like to mention. Boycotts, treaties, occupations, massacres of entire nations, pillage, plundering, all out war. Spilt the blood, but they want more. Filled the cup up for kings and queens. Filthy money and by any means. Taxation, extermination, manifested destination. We survive with determination. All my love for all my relations. 247, I am on the clock. clock. 365, I am on the spot. Even when I'm chilling, man, I'm keeping it hot. And I'm always fly like a red hot. I'm C-A-L-I-F-O-R-N-I-A. I'm fly like a red hot. And I rap Cali from the rest of the block. I'm C-A-L-I-F-O-R-N-I-A. I'm fly like a red hot. And I rap Cali from the rest of the block. California, California, home sweet home in California. Pacific time zone, California. West Coast, California. The best meds are in California. Don't mess with the feds in California. Deadheads, California. Dreadheads, California. California festivals. Grilled salmon and vegetables. Butter, edibles. Cali life is incredible. 247, I am on the clock. 365, I am on the spot. Even when I'm chilling, man, I'm keeping it hot. And I'm always fly like a red hot. I'm C-A-L-I-F-O-R-N-I-A. I'm fly like a red hot. And I rap Cali from the rest of the block. I'm C-A-L-I-F-O-R-N-I-A. I'm fly like a red hot. And I rap Cali from the rest of the block.
That was hard. You freaking bring it.
Thank you.
I'm quite impressed there, youngin'. So yeah, Amazon, SoundCloud, videos up on YouTube, Richie Ledreagle. So let's wrap it up. Facebook. Give us all of them.
Richie Ledreagle on Facebook. And we have Indigenous Warriors Clothing on Facebook. And also Indigenous Circles United on Facebook.
And how can the community contact you guys if they don't Facebook? You got a phone, like a generic phone number to throw out there?
Yeah, I do have a number we can give out, and that is 530-501-6741. And that's for Indigenous Circles United or Indigenous Warrior Enterprise.
And do they have websites?
IndigenousWarriorsClothing.com is the website for our clothing line. And then we have a RichieLedreagle.com as well. And our Indigenous Circles United website is under development.
How exciting. When you say things like under development, it sounds so like it's going to, like something big is happening. It's so massive. We just can't finish it yet.
It is actually. We're going through a transition in our program and with our nonprofit organization. And we're actually extremely excited for the next phase.
Well, I'm excited for you guys too. But you know what? Keep me in the loop.
I will.
All right?
I will.
I will promote stuff on the show, and I'm freaking fun at events.
All righty.
Okay? Don't stick me at the weird table 9 way out there in the corner either. Do you know what I mean? Like, put me with the cool kids.
Right.
I promise it'll be fun. Well, thanks again. We're going to cut to the John Trudell, Take Back the Earth. Now, he performed this at your Indigenous activist ceremony, or was this?
No, Brother John Trudell actually didn't. He wasn't able to make it to the ceremony. This is one of the projects that we worked on via email that we talked about earlier. And this is a piece that he had on YouTube, and we combined that with Cody Thomas Blackbird for the project.
How precious is that? All right, Richie Ledreagle, thank you so much for driving your bottom all the way out here.
Blessings.
We're
to
going to play one more little jam, and yeah, litter our Facebook. Keep our listeners in touch. Yukoke Cheeto, Kana, you're all right.
Definitely. Machuxas.
It was nice meeting and listening to you. We got to be chauvinist, or we got to be on some kind of a class trip or some kind of an illusionary power trip. We got to play a role. See, we got to play a role to communicate with other people. We got to go through this charade because they have attacked our self-confidence. They have attacked our self-confidence, and they have made us to listen to them. They have made us to believe that they are power. But they are not. They are violent and they are brutal, but they are not power. We are a natural part of the earth. As a natural part of the earth, we have the energy and the power that is the earth. The earth will take care of us if we will remember the earth in more than just our words.
if we will remember the earth and our way of life, we are all here to play a role, and all of the animals and all of the life on the earth is playing its proper role except the human people. Somehow we are betraying our purpose here, and that is why we live in the confusion that we live in.
It's true, you can't teach an old dog new tricks. What good are new tricks when it's the old tricks that got the old dog old? Maybe it doesn't matter who you are. If you feel like jumping, go ahead, jump. Something to do when you need something to do is somewhere to go when you need somewhere to go. It's best to leave some things to be. Who is it gets to say who's in charge, and who picked them to do the same? And who heard anybody asking to be told what they have to do? In the way these streets were made for dogging and chasing the cat, he never did use anyone that didn't at least half agree. Some dogs have their own ways to run. First the growling, trying to avoid the biting. But those times when a bite just has to bite, some dogs, some leashes, never going to fit. It's good to run loose where life is about the money. Love and hate and yesterday and tomorrow's chains. With attraction, distraction, transaction, and reactions as the cage keeper's way of imprisoning imaginations. And there's no reasoning with the ways reasoning reasons. There's the night, there's the day, and that whole chase to be run. And there's some explainings that there's no explaining can't explain. In the way these streets were made for dogging and chasing the cat. He never did use anyone that didn't at least half agree. It's true, you can't teach an old dog new tricks. What good are new tricks when it's the old tricks that got the old dog old? What some dogs do when those sometimes come around, some dogs just have to hump something.
Once was born a proud nation who met with fate of damnation. Hey-ya, 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 hey-ya. Listen to the white man's voice. It seemed to be their only choice. Hey-ya, 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 hey-ya. Free as an eagle they soared. Nature was the life that they adored. Hey-ya, 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 hey-ya. No cars or pollution to fill the air. They knew a life beyond compare. Hey-ya, 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 hey-ya. Was their food. The herbs of the forest is what they knew. Hey-ya, hey-ya, hey-ya. Someday the proud people will rise. Listen for the distant drums to come alive. Hey ya, hey ya, hey ya, hey ya, hey ya, hey ya. Then there'll be peace throughout the land.
Yep.
Look at what the cat dragged in.
Pretty good cat, huh?
Yeah, obviously has to be strong and cunning to find you
Track me down.
and drag you in.
Well, I was, folks know that I haven't been on the air this summer, but I've been sort of sneaking around in the background. Every once in a while, I come in and I heard you say emotionally vomit or something, friends and family or something. So what I do is I info vomit on Mischief when I go through my archives, because I have an office full of things. And I remember during the membership drive, the last one, there was always speculation about, well, when did this program actually start?
Yes.
When nobody can remember.
No, we have no idea.
And I have a much better idea now, because I've found things.
What'd you find?
And yeah, well, the weird thing is that it goes. Actually, my relationship with Kvmr goes back to '97, and I retired in '97. And a friend of mine told me, Kvmr is a pretty cool place. That was Johnny Hill, who had Sierra Solar at the time. So I said, yeah. And then I bumped into Paul Emery. I had seen a picture of him or something. I saw him, and I went, oh. Hey, so I asked him, I said, what's the story with Kvmr? How do you get to be a radio guy? He said, well, you got to take the class and all that stuff. I went, oh, okay. So in the spring of 1998 is when I actually took the class, and I found a cassette tape of my on-air certification test dated July 29, 1998.
Wow.
So that's the official day that I became a voice on KVMR. And then that fall I was doing news and underwriters and just things filling in here and there. I did an occasional sub-program for whoever couldn't make it, especially during the holidays, and I did one called Twisted Christmas. Which was aired on December 23rd, 1998, and I have the cassette of that, and believe me, in review, it was still very twisted.
We expect nothing less.
And then in the spring of '99, this airtime position opened up. And that's in my bio on KVMR's website. But basically, when Steve Baker said, nobody's doing native music, I quoted Jimmy Accardi and said, my head exploded right there, Really? How interesting that no one's paying attention to natives who were basically decimated from this neighborhood as soon as they discovered gold. Uh-oh, we got to fix this.
Yes.
So in spring of '99, I actually had a show, but we didn't have a name yet. And I put it out for weeks that I was looking for a name, and I had suggestions, and people wrote suggestions and called them in and all kinds of things. And then I had a friend from the Bay Area who actually said, I got the perfect name. It's called Dreamwalk. And she explained all about how it's done. I went, that's it. And so the official program, named Dreamwalk, was aired on May 20th, 1999. So that means we've been here 16 years on the air, known as Dreamwalk. And I got all this documented from being a anally retentive engineer forever. So, you document everything when you work for the government. So that's the official history. That's how I have it written. It's here on paper. I discovered all this stuff while I'm digging through information to vomit on you from all of those past searches of people and places and connections. I got a big stack here of paper for you.
Okay, so May 20th, 1999. So in a few years, we have to have a 20th anniversary mega party with cake.
Right. It'll be 3 years. 3 years, it'll be the 20th anniversary of Dreamwalk, provided they don't throw us out. I mean, this is the longest relationship I've had with anything outside of my wife. I never stayed on a job 17 years. I got bored. And
The program can't get pregnant or break up with you.
That's right, it can. I flipped off plenty of bosses, but this is the longest relationship I've had with any professional organization outside of my wife. I've been with my wife and I have been together 35 years, so. But that doesn't count as a professional relationship.
My grandfather calls this my dysfunctional family.
It works.
Well, let me get these out of the way. Or would you like to read our underwriter's skip while you're here with your magical radio voice?
That was the fun part. That's what got me in on this, was that I was already doing radio in the Bay Area, and I thought, might be fun to do it here. Well, we'd like to thank Mark Kvmr, an investment representative with Cambridge Investment Advisors, offering advisory services, retirement planning, and portfolio asset management. Securities offered through Cambridge Investment Research Advisors, a registered investment advisor. You can call them at 530-559-1214 or mkunaberti at cambridgesecure.com. I'd also like to thank the Flower Garden Bakery. Fresh homemade soups and chilies every day, organic juice bar, organic bagels, lots of gluten-free options, open daily. Brunswick Basin, downtown Grass Valley, and Auburn Town Center. And one last thing, we'd like to thank Second Time Around, a Native American-owned store buying and selling quality used furniture, household accessories, fine jewelry, and collectibles. They are at 112 Argyle Way in Nevada City. Longtime supporters here of Dreamwalk, and they're open 10 to 5, Monday through Saturday. You can call them at 530-265-8844. So you have the official history that I dug up from my own
that's
archives.
cool, because I always wanted to know my birth story.
I see.
Oh,
you got to talk to Papa Michael Ben about that.
It's like having a Rolling Stone, like not really sure. You assume you know who your dad is, but you're not really sure. Nobody will fess up. So it's good. It's good to know that May 20th, it's party time.
1999. That was the official first broadcast of Dreamwalk as it is named.
That was so cool, Skip. Well, guess what? Because you always roll in when it's time. But guess what, Skip?
Yeah. We
gotta go.
What? You're not even on mic yet. What? Let's try that again.
Okay.
I trained you better than that grasshopper.
Second verse, same as the first. We gotta go.
Well, I left my broke down pickup down to Broke Bay, and I'm coffee reservation bound tonight.